This is a live stream. YouTube, also known as CrapTube, says they're going to be censoring live streams coming from individuals out of Canada because they can. So I'm going to record this a little bit and put it on my channel. This, I don't know if I just said this or not, but that definitely does not look like a small fringe minority. You know, I was thinking after watching my last video 2 or 3 times, I was thinking about deflection and reflection. You know, I studied psychology most of my life. Not like textbook psychology, so I don't know all the terminologies like some of my friends and associates do. But I can explain it better than I can give you terminologies. So some might call it narcissism, and so we'll just use that word for now, but narcissists or people with narcissistic behavior, kind of like these dictators and New World Order thinking type people, they will gaslight, deflect, and project. That was the word I was looking for, not reflect. Project and deflect off of them onto other people so that you're paying attention to those other people or not paying attention to those other people. It depends on what their agenda is. In order to do their agenda. I've dated bipolar women in the past and other women with abusive behavior. Not all of them were that way, but some of them. And I've learned a lot about projection and deflection. For example, one of my exes was accusing me of cheating on her. And I was confused because, I was more faithful than I should have been. However, I worked really hard to support her and take care of her and our newborn child. And then later I find out that she was the one cheating on me. And then she filed for divorce in a hurry after she got pregnant so she could try and then hurried up and married that guy so that she could try to cover up the fact that she got pregnant during our marriage. That actually kind of worked in my favor because the way our legal system works these days, if she would not have done that, then I would have been responsible for the child financially. So I kind of lucked out in that respect. But but she was more concerned about her image, and so that's why she did that. So anyhow, but she was deflecting, she was cheating on me, and so therefore she had to accuse me of being the one cheating so she could deflect from what she was actually doing. And this isn't the first time, or that wasn't the first time she did that. Before we got married, I remember, I think it was called Priscilla's back then. I can't remember. But we used to, we had a kind of a kink fetish. I should say before we got married legally. We had a Native American tribal wedding ceremony. So we were married spiritually before we got legally married. And so this was between the time we got spiritually married and the time that we got legally married. We used to go to this particular porn shop to buy, toys and stuff. And But she would go on Saturdays with the local church members to picket the same porn shop that we shopped at. I mean, how ridiculous can you be? But I mean, it's all about deflection and projection, you know. And I didn't understand this back then. It took me years before I understood it, and I got a bigger picture. But that's what a lot of these politicians and other people will do. They'll point the finger at other people so you're not looking at them. A lot of these pedophiles, these pedophiles in the public will do that. That's why the government has this war on drugs and this war on human trafficking and this war on terror and all these different so-called wars on all these so-called problems. It's to cover up the fact that they are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, contributors of said problem. Our government here in the U.S., I don't know about other countries, but our government is, I don't know how to say this, but basically, they contribute to pedophilia, human trafficking, all kinds of things. They're one of the biggest drug cartels. They're terrorists themselves. But, it's like, oh, we got to go after terrorism. Well, why aren't you going after yourself? That's why the Canadians finally stood up. They're tired of the terroristic, tyrannical government and the government overreach. The size, the cost, the extent of the reach, and the power of government. It's a terroristic, tyrannical government. Same in the U.S. It's getting that way all over the world. Hence the New World Order. They used to try to cover that up, but now if you look at the UN website, you'll see that they just boldly say they're the New World Order now because they think that they got all this power, they can do whatever they want. And they can only do whatever they want as long as we let them. So let's keep going with this live stream. I may not be able to post this on YouTube because of censorship, and they might say this is copyrighted and therefore I can't post it. So I'll probably have to post it somewhere else. Not so boring anymore. Come back to the tank. I wonder if there's going to be any trucker babies. Right? After the cabs are rocking, don't come a knocking. I can't remember if I set up a Rumble account or not, but I think I'm going to do that officially today. I do have a MeWe account, so you can find me on MeWe. I'm getting away from Facebook. I still post stuff there, but that's about it. Wow, that's not really nice music. Let's see here. We'll move on. That's crazy. Yeah. See, I used to be a Canadian trucker too. Uh, I lived up there for 2 years. Basically, when did it? Between 2001 and 2003, something like that. Basically, I was hauling elevators for Otis Elevators, and I'd pick up here in the U.S. and I'd deliver in Canada, mostly because um, most of our drivers either didn't want to go to Canada or they couldn't go to Canada. And I don't blame them for not wanting to go. There was a lot of crap, I constantly got my truck searched, and it was just a hassle. And I enjoyed Canada. I enjoyed the people. I just hated crossing the borders. But the people were awesome. In fact, it's funny. This one lady, she couldn't believe I was from the U.S. She thought I was a Canuck. And I told her, says, no, yeah, I'm from the U.S. And she's like, no way, you're too nice. I mean, the Canadian people overall are pretty cool. Pretty awesome people. And I enjoyed my stay up there. A lot of times, again, like I said, drivers couldn't cross or didn't want to. So a lot of times I would work like the Mexicans work, the Mexican border. They come across, pick up a load, and then they go back to Mexico. And that's pretty much what I did. I would just cross over into the U.S., drop and hook, and then go back into Canada. So, like I said, I practically lived there for 2 years. I was pretty much an ice road trucker. I ran the Northwest in the mountains, up Yukon, the Northwest Territories, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, all the way across to Prince Edward Island. And uh, and then after that, I did 11 Western, where I pretty much stayed on the West Coast and I ran the mountains, hauling cars. So I was an auto rack up there, and then I got back into doing elevators. Then I got into back into drive van, which is where I am now. But I got into drive van for a little while. Then I got into tankers, and I've been doing tankers for the last 16 years until I came to this company. And even when I was with the tanker, the first couple tanker outfits, I ran into Canada quite a bit, but not as much. And then I ran through the mountains in tankers with, ice and snow and stuff like that. So, but anyways, I got a point. I tend to do that. I tend to go down rabbit holes, or rabbit trails. But yeah, for 2 years I spent, time up there with them, and a lot of people think I'm a Canuck, even here in the U.S. I don't know why, but probably because I say "a" half the time. But, but yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to say, Canadians are awesome, except for maybe Quebec. But like one Canadian driver, he says the only French I know is "Tu parlez-vous anglais?" Yeah, I studied French in school, so I know a little more. But he'd say all I know is that "Tu parlez-vous anglais?" And somebody asked him, he said, "What does that mean?" He goes, he says, "Do you speak English?" And then he said, and if they say no, I say, "See you later, Frenchie." But I tell you what, if you ever go to Quebec and you don't speak French, seek out the Native American reservations, because the natives up there refuse to speak French. They will only speak English and their native language. So if you seek out the Native American reservations in Quebec, you'll find English speaking people. But if you speak French, you'll be in heaven, otherwise. So, all right, back to this. Wow, that's insane. All the air horns. Okay, so I was just thinking about something else I didn't say on my other video that I really can't say on YouTube or CrapTube because of censorship. So I'm going to try to speak in code without being censored. But basically, Trudeau and other people like, what's his face, Biden, talk about how the small fringe minority people like me who don't want to get the V or anti or XV, whatever, we're not really as much of a minority as they make us out to be, because there's a lot of people who ended up getting I can't say that word. I don't know what I can say that's not going to get me censored. That's funny. That's hilarious. Anyway, I can't stop laughing at that. That's just funny. Okay. There's a lot of people that got V'd because they were forced to. Because, like, elderly people got it because, not all of them, obviously. Some of them are for it. I know people in my family and in my circle that are 100% for it. In fact, they think I'm a bad guy for not getting it. But there's a lot of people who got forced into it or fear-mongered or manipulated or peer pressured into getting it. They didn't get it by choice. They got it under duress. I have a friend in Florida who is a 3%er, a freedom fighter minded type person. I don't know that she actually does anything. But, she's a researcher. She follows, she studies, she shares information. We talk about it every now and then. I actually game with her. So that's one of the things that got us close, was the fact that we're like-minded in the 3%er stuff. In fact, all of her alternate characters in the game are named after certain freedom fighters. In fact, I stole one of them from her because she got off the game for a little while, and then I ended up using one because it was my favorite freedom fighter, or one of them. So anyway, so she gets all the good names, But in fact, one of them was Joe Rogan. That was one of her character names, one of her alts. And I ended up stealing Ron Paul because I like Ron Paul. But anyhow, um, off point, she got the V because of her family. Her family kept peer pressuring her and manipulating her, and finally she ended up caving, and she ended up getting it. Now Florida was one of the first ones to lift the mandates, um, and they're more of a free state now. So if she would have waited, she would not have been one of the people. Perhaps, I don't know. You know, my mother's boyfriend got the V, partly because he wanted it, but mostly because his late wife wanted him to get it. And they both got the V. And she died. He didn't. He survived. He'd had mild, minimum side effects, but she died from the V. And, you know, and she was the one who was paranoid about the C-19. And she's the one who pressured him into getting the thing we're not allowed to talk about. And she died. She was in the hospital immediately afterwards, and she only lasted maybe a week or two. I think 2 weeks. I think she lasted about 2 weeks. So, you know, there's people that are threatened that they'll lose their jobs if they don't get the V. There's elderly people that are threatened that if they don't get the V, then they can't see their grandchildren, so they get it so they can see their grandchildren. So their children are putting their parents at risk by telling them that they can't see their grandchildren unless they get the V. So they go out and get it because they want to see their kids, you know? I mean, their grandkids. Well, both, probably. So, but, and some of them survived, some of them died, you know. I think more people died from the V than they did from the C. But, I guess that's we're going to have to just abbreviate things from now on because we were not allowed to talk about certain things because of censorship. And like I said, I probably already said too much because YouTube's probably going to shut me down. I had a YouTube account for many years, 10 years to be exact. 5 years before Google bought them and 5 years after. And for the first 5 years, I didn't have any trouble. It wasn't until Google bought YouTube that I started having problems. And immediately they started red flagging me, blah, blah, blah. And I had to hurry up and go in and clean up my YouTube account. And I was fine for 5 years. And then on the 5th year, apparently they wanted to get rid of me. They flagged me again and terminated my account. 5 years I was clean, and they terminated my account. I had over 1,000 videos. And pretty much after that, I quit making videos. But, and I also kind of went off grid at the time. Not 100% off grid, but, you know, like sustainable living type of off grid. And about that time, I got IT burnout, so I kind of quit doing stuff. Now I'm starting to get my mojo back. It's been 5 years. I'm starting to get my mojo back and starting to think about getting back in the game. I'm not sure I really want to because, you know, censorship. You can't say anything anymore, and without them shutting you down. But at the same time, we need to keep saying something. The only reason why we're a minority is because they keep silencing us, and we let them. But we just have to keep finding ways around their algorithms and their censorship, and start being louder than they are. and and if they kill us, so be it. That's another thing I got to do. I got to go make a will, because I have a feeling, for too long, if they don't get their way, they're going to start killing off people like me. I'm not as much of a target as some other people, especially some people in my network, but I'm still loud enough, I think, to be a target. And if I start getting louder, then they'll target me more. But they already shut down my old YouTube account. I created a Red Pill YouTube account to talk about this stuff, because there's this Red Pill movement for MGTOW, which is, in a sense, Red Pill, but at the same time, they're dominating the Red Pill community and making people think that that's all Red Pill is, and it's not. But anyway, but again, YouTube won't let you talk about any of the other Red Pill subjects. They only will let you talk about that particular one, or they censor you, they demonetize you, they terminate your account, whatever the case may be. There's certain people that can get away with it, like Fox News and maybe Jordan Peterson and whatnot. But people like me, who aren't as famous or popular, they can shut us up quicker and easier. But I mean, I don't know if they shut down Alex Jones on YouTube. They shut down Donald Trump on Twitter. I mean, if they can shut down those people, they can shut down you and me. So we just need to create our own YouTubes and start doing our own thing. However, YouTube's easy to use, and that's the only reason why I still use it. But if we start making our own user-friendly sites, like Rumble and like MeWe, and start getting away from Facebook and CrapTube, then we'll be better off.
There's been shoveling going on throughout the week. People have been shoveling snow and doing what the city can't do. hardworking people keeping this going.
Yeah, the city can't get in there, so. But there's thousands, if not millions, of people there, so they can handle it. Another thing the media is not telling us is, while they're there, yeah, they may be disrupting the peace, if you will, but they're feeding the homeless, taking care of each other, taking care of. They're not robbing, plundering, and pillaging like Black Lives Matter people and Antifa people did. And actually, I don't think it was so much the Black Lives Matter people as it was the Antifa people. Although I think, I'm not 100% on this, but I think they're in cahoots with each other. I mean, I'm all for Black lives because I'm part black myself, but I'm part a lot of things. So I'm for all the, I'm for all lives matter. I might get cancel cultured for that, but, I'm not 100% black. I'm not 100% white. I'm not 100% Native American. I'm not 100% Spaniard. I'm a little bit of everything. I've got a lot of different genetics in my gene pool. So I identify with a lot of different ethnicities. And I hate when people call it race because we're all the same race. Or like the Bible says, we're all of the same kind. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to interbreed.
Oh, sorry. It's all good, buddy. Hockey stick in the face there. Nothing haven't experienced before. I see a lacrosse stick even.
Now this is a live stream from Canada, Ottawa, Canada, Ottawa, Ontario. If YouTube shuts it down, then you'll get to see a little bit of it on my video, obviously. If they don't shut me down, that was one of the things I was gonna say. I'm gonna upload this to my Trucker's Ed video. I made a whole bunch of different channels for different subjects, like I should have done the last time before they shut me down. I just had all of my 1,000 plus videos in one YouTube account. And I should have separated them out and made separate videos or separate categories for the different videos. But I didn't do that. And so when they shut me down, I lost everything. So since then, I've created separate YouTube accounts. I don't really upload a whole lot because I hate YouTube, or I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube. I hate Google, and I have a love-hate relationship with them. But anyway, and if I do get on other sites, if they'll let me, I'll create separate accounts with them as well from now on. But that was the mistake I made, and I lost everything. Now, I still have the originals backed up on my external hard drive, but I got to go back and try to find them. And I just haven't really had time to do it and whatnot. So I'm gonna upload this to my Truckers Ed YouTube account, and since it doesn't have any red flags, and see if it gets flagged or not. If it don't, then I'll also upload it to my Red Pill channel. But I guess that's it. The live stream's over. So I guess we're done here. But again, and I'm going to create a new Red Pill channel for the Black Pill stuff, because the Red Pill stuff is not really relationship oriented in my mind. It's more freedom fighter oriented, 3%er oriented. So I might create a Black Pill account, or I might call it Red Pill Black. Speaking of which, I'm sure that domain name's taken, but I'm going to look and see if it's not. My internet sucks right now, so I really can't do a whole lot. But if it's not taken, I'm going to get it and maybe use it to promote said subject. But it's probably taken. It's already been popularized, so anyway. I guess that's it. I'm here in Indiana. Stuff in my face. Oh, okay. False slander on Freedom Convoy. I guess I'll go ahead and finish it out with this video. And, well, actually, no, I probably can't because of censorship and copyright infringements and blah, blah, blah. So, I guess that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.